Well, hello everyone.
Welcome back to my Dream of the channel.
Both of my contacts today are deciding to just completely irritate my eyes. These are the third one for each eye that I've tried.
So I'm giving up.
Anyway, if you're new here, thank you so much for giving this channel a chance and checking me out. This is the channel where I talk about whatever I feel like.
Didn't turn my ring light on.
Love my life. Where I talk about whatever I want, I pretty much do whatever I want, I upload whatever I want.
It's a great time.
If you are returning, thank you for, supporting my stupidity. So as you can tell, it's not gonna be a funny video. Again, I've been on a Bailey Sarian binge, and I feel like every time I watch her, I'm like, yeah, because I do love mystery type things, or like, obviously, that sounds wrong, but I love, like documentaries about it, like serial killers and everything. It's just the psychology part. No matter how I spin this, it's still the fact that I like murder came out of my mouth doesn't sound right. But hopefully you understand what I'm saying. Actually, for Halloween, I was gonna do this story forever ago. My friend Amy actually, suggested this, and it was not for uninterest of doing it. The story actually kind of haunted me quite a bit. I did the research, I really dived in, I just read up for fun on some of the stuff, and I think I didn't get burnt out at all. I was still really interested in it, but it freaked me out. So I just kind of, pulled the plug on the video for the time being and decided to come back to it when I felt like I could upload it. And it might not be something that affects you guys as much as it did me. It's not like it's a story about murder or anything. It's not like it should be anything that's super horrifying. We'll just get into it. So while I talk about this, I'm gonna be doing my makeup. I've got some errands to run. I don't know necessarily why I decided to do my makeup for this video. I have a workout class later, so story is gonna be about La Pascualita, if you've heard about it. It's actually, like, the setting of this story is in Chihuahua, Mexico. I also, please note that I wrote these notes for this story back in October, and my handwriting is
Awful.
My sister lovingly calls it hieroglyphics. There's just some stuff that, like, while I was trying to read it myself, I was just kind of like, I don't even know what this means. So if there are any parts where I stumble on what I wrote, please just know it's because I can't even read my own handwriting, which is so lovely. This story takes place in Chihuahua, Mexico. So it's about a mannequin, or what's supposed to be a mannequin, in the window of a bridal shop. The whole story is there was this woman who was set to get married, and I believe it was like a couple days or a week before. I can't remember. I know I wrote it in my notes, but again,
the handwriting is questionable.
It was just a few days, or like up until a week before she was supposed to get married herself. She got bit by a black widow and unfortunately passed away. Again, like, the mannequin that's supposed to look like her is posted in the window of a bridal shop that happens to be her parents' bridal shop. That's kind of where things get a little dicey here, is the fact that people are like kind of on the fence thinking, already like the timing of this mannequin being placed in this window is kind of fishy, because it was like not even long after she had passed away. Oh, okay, I was wrong. See, this is what I mean. There's just like some of the stuff that I feel like I wrote, it's hard to read. So it was actually, she was bit by a black widow and passed away on her wedding day. God, that's even more tragic. I kind of read up a little bit about this just within the last week, again, preparing to make this video, but I feel like, again, it's just one of those things where I feel like and I'll like insert some pictures, like, you'll understand. It's just, there's something about the pictures of this
mannequin
that are just so haunting that I feel like every time I try to research it or do anything to like lock on the legitimacy of this story, so I don't look like an idiot when I talk about it. It's just, it makes me so uncomfortable. Like, her face is just like right there staring at you, you know? Anyway, ends up, you know, she passes away, unfortunately. I mean, such a sad time, like right before you're set to get married. Are you kidding me? It's just kind of one of those things where her, you know, her parents' bridal shop just happens to get a mannequin that just looks a lot like her, you know? And so no one really thought too much of it. They just figured that, you know, the owner ended up, like her father ended up finding a mannequin that was pretty similar to what she looked like as like a way to grieve, you know? So no one was really like saying anything that was like, oh my God, you put a dead girl up in your window or whatever in the beginning. But then it ended up, people started to notice that things about this mannequin just seemed a little too realistic, down to the hands, which again, I'll insert a picture for you so you can see that lovely image. This is just, I feel like, what haunts me. It's the fact that you can see like the veins and like the wrinkles in her hands, and like the nails look super realistic. It's just one of those things where it's like, and again, I mean, for legal purposes and YouTube purposes, like, you know, allegedly, this just seems a lot like the deceased bride, you know? So of course people are like upset in the town. They're seeing this, they're starting to notice a lot of similarities about her, like how she looks just like the deceased bride, and like everything is just coming together a little bit too much. And so people started to send death threats to the mother, you know, saying like, how could you let your husband do this? You know, this is a mockery of the dead. And this is one thing that I respect so much about the Hispanic culture, is they have a lot of respect for the dead. And I feel like that's something that like we as Americans should like adapt to a little more. Obviously, the Hispanic culture having like a lot of respect for the dead and seeing this as something that's disturbing, because it is, you know, they start sending death threats. Not okay. I feel like I still don't condone that, like being like, this woman lost her daughter, you know, and like her husband, if like, again, allegedly, like if he did embalm his daughter and like place her in the window of the shop, like that's sick. But it's also just kind of like, this poor woman is just in the middle, like, I just lost my daughter, my husband is theoretically having like a psychotic break. Again, if this is true, if not, she's probably just like, oh my God, like we got a mannequin that looks so much like our daughter as tribute, you know? They start receiving death threats. People are just like shunning the shop. I'm sure that's not great for business. It's just such a sad story. And I think it's the fact that like the mannequin does just look so much like this, you know, like a real person. I feel like there's just like, people will go just to see this mannequin, just to the city, just to see the mannequin, to, you know, really decide for themselves if it looks like a real person. And from what I've read up, like there were comments on the article that I was reading, and people were saying that they went to go see it and they swore up and down, they were like, this is the shop owner's daughter. It's just like, and this is where like, on my end, I really do feel for that family, because I feel like, you know, that your daughter getting married, that's like when she's like growing up, especially in that culture too. Like, I mean, me personally, I think that, you know, I'm pretty sure my parents are like, oh, it would be great if, you know, Jess would grow up and get married. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know anyone that would want to marry this mass of a human. I know at the end of the day, like, they would be okay. Like, Hispanic culture, especially like back when this was first happening, it's just, you know, like, that's something that you do. It just doesn't not get done. That was the dumbest way for me to word that. You know what I mean? Like, that's just something that is held high to families who have daughters. You know, they're like, especially in that time period, even here, like even in America, like that was, if nobody was like trying to wed your daughter, you wonder like, what did we do wrong, you know? Or like not even that, it's just like, it's a happiness for your kid to be moving on with their lives, you know, and like find someone that's gonna love them and, you know, unconditionally be there for them. Dang it, why do I always forget something? Do you guys just ever have those days where just everything like just seems like such an inconvenience and everything, just little things, but like everything seems to go wrong? That's me today. I'm like super annoyed about everything. And like, there's no reason for it. Oh, I forgot to do my powder. Getting back to the story, it's just, it's really sad to think that like, you know, already losing a child, but especially on their wedding day. I mean, what a horrible, horrible time. If this story is true, I mean, obviously like this is stuff that has happened, but like if allegedly, if this would be the embalmed version of the shop owner's daughter, like it's still kind of weird, like still wouldn't be my jam, but I would kind of understand, you know, like I can't hate on a family for like at least thinking in the mindset of like, oh, like let's forever celebrate the fact that she was about to get married, you know, or like let's freeze this moment in time, I guess, whatever the word is for that. I'm just too stupid to think of it today. Yeah, let's just like put a freeze frame, like put her in a dress, you know, put her in the shop window. Like I understand the mentality behind it, but I also understand the people who would be living in the city kind of being like, what are you doing? It's just hard because on both sides, I get it. I get where people are coming from, you know. To their final days, the shop owners, because this happened, I'm pretty sure, at least 80 years ago. Again, like I was getting ready to research the dates and just saw those pictures and they just haunted me so hard. And like, I even went back and forth of like finally making this video at all, just because, you know, like I already researched all of it and I feel like my friend Amy just like has the greatest stories for me, or like the greatest ideas to make these videos. A lot of them, like, y'all just, if you enjoy like these videos, a lot of these ideas come from my friend Amy. Like she just kills it. I just felt like this story intrigued me so much, but it just also disturbed me. Like when she was first telling me about it, like, and I'm not super squeamish with scary things. Like I love watching creepy that like, not that this is like super creepy or anything, but I used to binge watch Ghost Adventures, you know, like some of the stuff that created, like to me, it just seems really fake, but like, you know, it's still kind of one of those things when you're like by yourself and you have all the lights turned off. It's like kind of creepy to watch by yourself, even if you don't 100% believe what's going on. I love horror movies. I love watching like documentaries about like hauntings and everything, or just like unexplained like events, or, you know, like paranormal things. It's just stuff like that. Again, I sound so stupid. It's just because I'm trying to do makeup and talk and I always just sound like such an idiot. I've never been somebody to like shy away from researching something that's a little creepy. God, sorry. I felt like, what is that? Why does it keep, are you seeing like how it just looks like it's, what is that? It's not my lights because it's not even the pattern. And I keep thinking like maybe somebody, like the parking garage faces right out there. But like it just, like watching in real time, nothing's happening. But like on the phone, God, that's just so strange. It's not even like it's creepy. It's just super distracting. Like this story just makes me so jumpy. Like I don't know what it is. I mean, I've like watched so much stuff and I've researched so much stuff that hasn't bothered me, and like this one, and it's not even like it's it's tragic. It's not like it's something that's super like terrifying, you know, it's just a tragic story. But I think it's just the fact that it's like, I don't know if this makes sense to anyone else, but I feel like maybe this is why I have an ingrained respect for the dead, is because I always wonder what would be, you know, especially if you're somebody that believes in ghosts and everything, which I do. If you just think about it, I think in my mindset, you know, ghosts are just like people who most of the time don't even know that they're passed away. They have unfinished business. They still don't 100% know that they're dead maybe. And I feel like I can't imagine just like wandering around feeling like you can't pass on yet, and like watching everybody else just kind of like go along their daily lives and like not see you, and you don't really understand why. I don't know, like it's just a weird thing. Like that's a theory for me. I think it's just sad that, you know, this bride being so close to like the happiest day of her life and, you know, like sadly passing away and maybe not understanding fully what has happened, like especially if somebody has like frozen your body in time by embalming it, again allegedly, if that is real. I can't imagine like seeing that or like being around to see it, and maybe that's when you realize you're dead, or like maybe you think that it's just a mannequin that looks like you, or I don't know, and just how tragic that would be. Or even if like she's like watching from another place, like to heaven or whatever you believe the next phase is after death, and just watching her family struggle so much. It's just so sad. And God, this is really hard to do with like putting lip liner on. I mean, I know it looks messed up and I know it's just a lip liner, but it threw me off real hard. You really didn't try, Jess, did you? So guys, let me know what you think. If you like these type of videos of me researching like weird findings like this, yeah, definitely let me know if you like these style of videos. Just comment below. Maybe like give me other ideas of things you want me to research and talk about. Also, in case anyone is into jewelry, if you know anything about paparazzi accessories, I've been selling some of their jewelry. It's usually, you know, like if I'm wearing any jewelry in any of my videos, it's that, like that's what I wear all the time. But I've been selling it. I'm gonna link my little like business page below, or like my group page on Facebook. So if you're interested in that, go ahead, join. Everything's $5, so why not? Sorry about the little ad. I'm not sponsored by anyone but myself, so I gotta plug my stuff. Anyway, guys, thank you for spending some time with me. I will see you in the next video, and hopefully it won't take as long to get it up. So, bye.